G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. Now, today, something really different. I have been making these thick, chunky knit blankets that you knit with your fingers. No knitting needles. And I'm a bit obsessed. Obsessed might not be the word, but very obsessed. In the process of doing this one at the moment, which is white and grey and black. It's gorgeous. It's a polyester chenille chunky wool. I'll tell you about that later. But before I get started, I wanted to show you just a little bit of the background of what I'm doing, what I have done, and some others that I've got planned. So this one here, pink, grey, cream. I'm thinking I'm going to do that one next. I'll video that one for you. I'm going to do that one for my mother for a little Christmas present, just a little throw rug to pop over her knees. And then this one I'm going to do cream, beige and grey. Look at that. It's just divine. If you guys have not ever felt chenille, you should. It's amazing. So yeah, sitting on my dining room table. Now, because my camera stand is in the studio, I'm going to have to work in there. I want to show you what else. This is my den. This is just my den where I do my office. My computer's over here on the left. Look, you guys. I think I have a problem. I think I need to go to Knitters Anonymous. I did have more, but both my daughters, Gemma and Christy, have done a blanket. My daughter-in-law Tash has done a blanket. They're all onto their second or third blankets. So this is some of their wool. But yeah, look at this. This is my next. I'm going to do another one. I tell you what, once you've done one, it's so addictive. So that's the brown tones. I've got this gorgeous one here, which is like apricots, and grey and white. Christy's doing this one next. Really deep sort of ocean green. There's that one. I've got some navy here as well. There's a couple of different shades of grey. There's this. Some of them came kind of vacuum packed, and then others just come in bags. Now, in Australia, we don't have Joann's and Michael's and those amazing craft stores that you guys have got in the States. So, yeah, we're just going to have to... These ones I bought from Temu. There's Santa. So anyway, I'm just going to walk around into my lounge room because I want to show you. Actually, I'll show you from here. I've put a few that I've made already just on my couches here. I'll come around and show you. They are so addictive, I tell you. Now this one, look at this one. It is thick and luxurious. That's the back there. You could have it either way. If you prefer this pattern, you can have this pattern, or you can have this pattern here. So that was the mixed ball. Now, being in Australia, I call them a ball of wool. Over in the States, I've heard people call them skeins of yarn. Okay, it's the same thing. So if I call them skeins of yarn or if I call them balls of wool, it's the same thing. Now this one is this gorgeous sort of pale green. This one's a little bit of a thinner one. This one I got from Craft Online, which is a craft shop near me, and it's a little bit thinner. It's probably 20 millimeters, whereas these ones, they're a bit thicker. They're 22 to 25 millimeters, which is an inch. That's the thickness of them. Aren't they just divine? Yes, I have a problem. I don't know what I'm going to do with them all. And then this one, oh my gosh, look at this one. It shows a bit blue in here on the screen, but it's actually more of a dark ocean green sort of a tone as well. And again, that's the back. And then, I've got the cream as well. I've got the cream. Oh my gosh, had to have the cream. So that's the back. So this is the size basically of the ones I've been doing. These are 10 balls of wool or 10 skeins of yarn that I've been using for these. So as you can see, they're a really good size. Today in my video, I am going to make one a little bit smaller. I'm going to try 6 balls of wool skeins. They do get, because they're so chunky, they do get quite heavy. And also I'm a relatively tight knitter, I guess. So there's not a lot of like open weave between them. I've seen some that are really quite open and loose, the way that the people knit. So today I'm going to try with the 6. I'll just show you my Christmas tree while I'm here. I'm going to try the 6 balls of wool. There it is, already. And yeah, I'm going to do that and just have it a little bit more open, like an open weave, and a little bit more lightweight, because like I said, these are really quite thick, chunky blankets, which are amazing. But I just want to see if I can make one a little bit more lightweight just for my mum. All right, so let's get started. All right, I have got myself set up in my studio. This is normally where I pour my resin, do my acrylic pours, all that kind of stuff. But it was looking really messy, so I got a piece of vinyl, same as I've got on the floor. So I had some left over. Husband brought it down from the shed. Thanks, Dave. And I cut a piece and put it on here. So I've cleaned it. Nice, lovely surface to work on. So these are my 6 balls of wool. I'm going to start with grey on the bottom. I'm going to do some pink in the middle. It's like a musky pink. And then I'm going to finish off with some cream at the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I wanted the pink between the 2 other colours. You'll need to have a pair of scissors. A tape measure is also a good idea. So let's get started. I'm going to move everything else out of the way. Don't need these colours at the moment. I'm only going to use our one grey. That's it there. So it is, hopefully you can see it on this creamy coloured background here. It's not quite an inch, it's about 2 centimetres. See that one on the bottom? 2 centimetres. An inch is 2.5 centimetres. So this one's about, it's hard to say whether it's, because if you press it flat, it changes. So I don't know whether it's 2 or 2.2 centimetres or 22 millimetres, but anyway, there's that one. And then you will need your little scissors. So the first thing you need to do, and I will link where I got these. These are actually a Temu purchase. Quick, I'll just be quick. I did try my local craft stores in Australia, Spotlight, Lincraft, all that kind of stuff. Didn't have any. Went to eBay and they wanted like $26 a ball, which is just ridiculous. You know, if I'm using 10 balls to make a big blanket, it's 260 Australian dollars. That's huge. So, yeah, ended up getting them from Temu. They were about $11 Australian, free shipping. And then a friend of mine, she found them, the same things on AliExpress, and they were like $8 a ball, free shipping. So I'll link both of those for you down below. So anyway, let's get started, shall we? Let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is we just need to tie a little knot in the bottom at the end like that. Don't pull too hard, you'll snap it. I did that once, I didn't know my own strength, snapped it. So that is just to stop it from fraying. So we're just going to cut that off. If a little bit of fluff comes out, don't worry about it. That's just the nature of chiffon. You can just trim it. All right. So you can wash these. I'd put them in like a bag first. One of those. What what do you call them, gauze bags, net bag, just, yeah, so that'll just stop it unraveling. All right, so the first thing we need to do is do a slip knot. So you need to keep a little tail about that long. I have it a little bit longer, and then that's just, you can just weave that back through your side a bit later on. So the first thing we need to do is our first little knot. So we're just going to cross that over like that and then poke that through. See? Easy. Should we do it again? Those of you that have done finger knitting before, you'll just go, yeah, I know what you're doing. But those of you that haven't, like me, I taught myself. I watched YouTube videos. So hold it like that, cross that over, poke it through, and pull that up. That's going to be your first stitch, like so. Now, because I said earlier I did want to make this blanket a little bit more loose, a little bit more lightweight, a little bit more airy, you know, that kind of look where you can see the holes through it, a bit more like that, because all my others have been quite tight. So you can gauge it by putting 3 fingers in there. I think that would be a good amount. If you've only got 2, then you've got a gap, so 3. 4 would be like your fingers would be squished. Don't look at my nails. I haven't had a chance to do them. So we'll go 3 fingers, which if you're looking at the whole loop up to the top is 2.5 inches. If you're looking at the whole loop from the bottom to the top. Okay. About 7 centimeters. So that's it there. All right. So the next thing we need to do is we need to start making our chain, our stitches. A foundation chain is what it's called. So what I'm going to do is, you need to have your yarn, your working yarn or your wool going in the direction that you are going to work. All right, so we're going to go that way. So first thing I want to do is I'm just going to pop that little loop over that like that. Now I'm going to just zoom you in just a little bit, just so that you can see a little bit better how I'm going to do this. All right, and we'll zoom back out later. So basically what I do is I hold the stitch like that, because if you just try to pull that, you're gonna pull it out of the way. So hold your stitch that you've just made, popped it over like that so that you can see that line of yarn in the middle there, and you're just going to pull that out like so. Okay, and so you've got 2. And then you put that one over the top. You're going to move this hand and hold this loop now so it stays there, and then you're going to pull out again like that. Okay, move the left hand, hold it there, pull that loop out, and there we go. We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. See how easy is that? Now, like I said, I want to do 25. Make sure that you've pulled enough of your yarn so it's free to use. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 25. So again, hold it there. 5, hold it there. 6, 7, 8. Come on, yarn. You'll be surprised how fast it goes. 9. I'm basically just eyeing as to how far like to pull. I mean, you don't want to just pull a tiny bit like that. I'm pulling it and kind of pulling it again and pushing it right over. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, sometimes it just gets stuck a bit, 15, 16, but it's a good idea to hold it like that so it's not going to move. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, get some more wool, 23, 24, 25. There we go. And then that one can just sit up there like that. Now I am going to double check. Look at that. Zoom you back out so that you can see the whole thing. All right. Now if you look at it and you go, oh gosh, I've pulled a bit tight in one spot, or it's too big in another spot, just unpick it. When I started, I think I did my first casting on about 4 times because I wasn't happy with it, but it doesn't take very long, and you cast on. So we're going to count I count these here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So as you're knitting, it'll kind of stretch, okay? So don't think, oh gosh, that's too small, because it will stretch. So at the moment 25, and again it depends on how big you've pulled your loops. If you've only pulled them quite small, you might only have a little bit. But yeah, because I wanted to do a bigger, looser one, I've made these a little bit looser. So let's have a look and see. So that's 100 centimeters, about 39 inches, 100 centimeters. So a metre, okay? But it will stretch out probably an extra 10 centimetres or an extra 4 inches or so. So that's what we've done so far. So now move your yarn back over this way. Remember, it's got to be in the way that you are travelling next. We're going to go that way next. We've just been this way. Now we're going to go that way. So what we need to do is we need to hold this. Fluff, and we are going to flip it over, all right, like that. Easy to do. Flip it over. Now this little stitch here, we're just going to bring it up to the top like so. All right, that's it. I'm just going to do it like that. Now if you've seen any of these videos, you'll probably realize that different people do them different ways. This is the way I like it. I like the channel or chain along the bottom. I like the channel or chain up the sides, and then the channel or chain across the top, and they all match, and that's how I like to do it. So that's why I'm going to show you. So what we need to do now, and again I'll just zoom you in a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. So that is going to be our first stitch, like so. I'm just going to leave it there. Now, can you see in this stitch that we've made here, there's a top, a middle, and a bottom. See that? Top, middle, bottom. We're going to use these top ones to knit with, okay? All these middle ones. Did I say top? We're going to use the middle ones. So what we're going to do is, we're just going to pop your finger through there. With this one, I'm just going to poke it through that little hole I've made and pull that up. And I'm going to pull it up to about the same size as the loop that I've already got. Now this middle one, they will sit up like this, okay? Totally normal, don't worry about it. They'll come back down later on. So top, middle, bottom. Grab the middle one, get your working yarn and just poke it through like so. And there you've got 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's how big they're going to be. And they're about the same size as the first ones, about 6.5, 7 centimeters, about 2.5 inches. Okay, so that's them. So we're just going to continue to do that. Make sure that you don't flip it back over again, because then you'll end up with it twisted. So just make sure that you do this all at once. Don't put it away and then come back to it and think, oh gosh, which side was I using? So top, middle, bottom, find the middle, put your finger through, poke that through like that. And there we go. All right, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Feel free to rewind if if I've gone too fast for you, you can just rewind and watch it again. Top, middle, bottom. We're going into the top, pull that through, into the middle, pull it through. There's the middle, pull it through. Make sure that they're all roughly about the same size. Top, middle, bottom. Find the middle there, I'm holding it up, and then just push it through. I just push it through with one of my fingers, like so. Make sure that you've got enough slack for your wool, that you're not pulling on it too far. Top, middle, bottom, into the middle one. Now this is a great, see this one in the middle looks a bit small, so take that one out, pull that one further up. It's a great thing to do on a weekend with your girlfriends, bunch of girls or guys. Put the coffee machine on, make some cocktails, put the music on, and just have fun. I find that we can fit 4 people around my big dining table. It's big, so we have one on that side, one on that side, and one on each end, and we can all knit together. So it's really a wonderful thing to do, and you can actually make your blanket in an afternoon. I don't particularly like to rush it. You can do it in 4 hours. Some people do it really quickly, like in 2 hours, and again it depends on the size of your blanket. But I found the first time I did it, I was so excited to do it, and I just did it in one weekend, and then I thought, oh, it's done. Now what am I going to do? So then I had to go and buy more wool. Top, middle, bottom. So yeah, it's so addictive. If you've got an addictive personality, you might want to rethink. But look, great for gifts. But yeah, I'm just seeing if I can make them still gorgeous, but a little bit smaller, just so that we can give them away for gifts. Because they're not going to be too expensive. So for me in Australia, buying 6 balls of wool at $8 each, 6 8s are $48, free shipping. So $50, you've got yourself a lovely blanket to give to somebody. So like I said, I'm going to give this one to my mother for Christmas. Not that we're in winter, but those of you that are in winter at the moment, top, middle, bottom, you've still got time to make one. Okay, if you want to give it as a gift to someone for Christmas, because you guys are coming into winter, aren't you? So you've still got time to make one. All right, let's zoom back out. And I just want to make sure that I've still got 25 stitches. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So, yay! That's a bonus. All right, now we've done our casting on, and look at that gorgeous chain that we've got on the bottom. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's like a braid. It's a chain. It is gorgeous. And you can tell by looking at it if you've made a mistake. If you made a mistake, you can pull it out. I know it sounds terrible. Rather pull it out now and have a gorgeous blanket than say, oh gosh, I've got one stitch there that's wrong. And then you have to do it again. All right, so now next thing we are going to do is we're going to put our little ball of wool going that way. So we started left to right, then we did right to left, now we're doing left to right again. You can tighten up this little tail now, and we'll just thread that in later on. So here we go, we are going back the other way. Put your working yarn in front of you the way that you're going, not over the top like that, just there is fine. So what we're going to do is we are going to miss this first loop, and we're going to go on to the second loop, okay? Because missing the first one, like you can knit it that way, but when you start again you need to miss it, and that'll give you this gorgeous braid or chain going up the side. You'll see that later on. So we're going to miss that one, we're going to get this, working yarn, and we're going to just pull through like that. All right, doesn't matter if that one's a little bit smaller for now, it'll be fine. So there we go. Now we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 3 rows, okay? Right, so here we go. Now the other thing you just need to be aware of, when you're pulling this yarn, make sure that it's tight and it's not like loose at the back like that, okay? Because then when you turn it over, you're going to have this big loop here. So make sure that when you do it, it's pulled up nice and close behind, like so, all right? There we go. And also make sure that these loops aren't twisted like that. Make sure that you can see that shape there before you go and do your next stitch. Try again and get them all the same size. This is going to be divine. Now, if you've got one stitch that's, you know, a little bit smaller than the others, don't worry too much about it, because when you come back, you can just make the one on top of that a little bit bigger, so it's still in line. All right, I've done that plenty of times, so don't worry about it too much. But just, so I'm poking it through, 1, 2, pulling it out, poking it through, 1, 2, because that's kind of the size that I want them to be. So behind, poke it through, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Your ball goes down really fast. It does. 1, 2. See, that one's twisted. Make sure that it's not twisted when you go to use it. And there we go, nearly at the end. How easy is that, hey? And then that one, that's your other one from the first. Just bring him up and do that. Okay, now, same thing again. That's your stitch there. Look at that. Look at that. So there we go, we've got that. Now, I'll do a few more little rows. I'll put you on fast forwards. This one looks a bit small. It looks a bit small. It might be all right. Like I said, if you've got one that looks a bit smaller, the next time around on your next row, you can just make it a little bit bigger. I'm used to knitting smaller, so I think as I'm going, they're getting a little bit smaller, but I have to try and remember. This time I'm making them bigger and looser. All right, so I'll put you on a bit of a time lapse. I'll do a few rows, and then I'll come back to you when it's time to join 2 balls together, okay? All right, so that went pretty quickly. I hope I got enough wool. Oh my gosh. Yeah, should be. Doesn't look as if it is, does it? Now, sometimes you'll find it'll get these little bits of string in your ball of wool. That's fine. And a lot of times it'll be on the end as well. So I just cut that off. I'm not going to be worried about trying to get that knot out. So that's that. All right, so our next one. Now there's a few ways that you can join your wool. I prefer the magic knot. Where's the other one? Where's the other side? There it is. I prefer the magic knot. If you wanted to, I'll show you a few different ways, and then you can just decide which way is best for you. So what you can do is you can put two together and you can tie a knot that way, okay, or you can do a double knot like so. I'm not going to pull them tight, and then you just snip off your ends, or there's the third option, which I prefer because it's just stronger. It's not going to come apart. Can you imagine if your knot came apart in the middle of your blanket and they're all unraveled? So I do it this way just to be on the safe side. So what you do is you line the two pieces up like that. So basically we're going to tie this one onto there, and we're going to tie this one onto here, okay? So I'm just going to do a knot. It can take just a little bit of time if you've never done one before. You just do a knot, pretend that the middle one's not there, and just do a knot. That's what I told my kids. Just pretend that's not there, and you're just tying a knot, okay, like so. And then all you do is you're pulling these two together, like so, like that. All right. So then we need to make sure that it's nice and tight. So pull these two, and then pull these two, and then pull those two. Again, don't pull too tight. You'll snap it. You'll break it. And then I just do that a few times on each. Make sure that it's nice and tight, never going to come apart. And then you can just snip these off, your little ends, as close to the knot as possible. If it's got a bit of a fluffy fray there, you can just trim that off as well. That's fine. You do get a few little fluffy bits like that. So it's not a lot wasted. And then we've got a nice little join there. You can trim it up. So it's not too big. Yes, you can see it. It's a join. But in a chunky blanket, you can just hide it in the middle somewhere. Push it to the back. I tend to push them to the back so that you can't see them. And then you just keep going. Just keep going. There it is there. There it is. It's at the top now. Do need to pull some of this slack. Again, make sure you're working, put your yarn the way that you're working. Now, if you come across something like this and you think, oh my gosh, what's going on here? This is a dropped stitch. So all you have to do is you need to, it's dropped out of here. All you need to do is put it back in there like that, okay? And then you can knit it again. I would suggest counting every second row. I mean, you could count every row, but that gets a bit tedious. I would suggest counting every second row to make sure that you've still got 25 stitches. You'd hate to drop one and then have to go back and get it. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Is that right? I think so. This one's looking a little bit on the small side. I'm going back to my making them a bit smaller. But on the next row, I'll just make the next one a bit bigger so that everything's still in the same line. And you can see that it's all in the same line there. And then I tend to give it a bit of a stretch along the bottom, like that. It's basically how big it's going to be now. Let's see if it's changed at all. So we're up to 105, which is about 41 41 inches, about there. So we're up to that now. That's probably what it's going to be. All right, so there you go. Now I'm going to continue with the grey. I won't show you me doing it. I will just do it. And then once I've done the second skein of yarn, I'll come back to you and I'm going to add this gorgeous pink in, all right? I've never done this before, never done it. I've only done single colour, so this is going to be new for me as well. All right, so I have used 2 skeins of yarn or 2 balls of wool, and I've only got that far. So yeah, it goes quickly, but you use your wool so quickly too. Now I've got 1, not quite 2 lengths of yarn left, so it's not going to be enough. You would need to have 1, 2 and 3 to do another row. So we're going to have to just leave that, unfortunately. I know it seems like a bit of a waste, but unless of course you want to go halfway and then change colours, which I don't. So I'm just going to cut this off. I actually like having some spare. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away. In case you ever do get a hole or a loop that's too big or something, you can go and fix it with your leftover yarn. So don't throw it away, okay? So what we're going to do is with the end of this one, actually I won't do it just yet. I'm just going to tie a knot, but I probably won't do it just yet. All right, so that's it done there. Now once your blanket gets a bit longer, you can fold it over like so. Actually, let's have a look at the other side now that we can. Look at that. That's the other side. Now if you preferred this side, you can have this as your front. I prefer the other side. Now you can't even see that join, you know, where I joined the knot. You can't even see it. It's just in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. Can't see it. Anyway, yep, it's gone. So fold it over. Now I would normally be sitting at my dining room table, but because I'm doing a video for you, I need to be standing here. So that's what we're going to do. So the next colour, here we go. So it's obviously not going to be a very long blanket. I probably maybe needed to do like 22 loops. Might be more of like, it's probably going to be a little bit rectangle, probably going to be a little bit more square though. Oh, look at that. It's already got a knot on the end of it. Already got a knot. So yeah, it's probably not going to be quite as long as it is wide, so more of a squarish, but we'll see, we'll see. So this is the next one. Now like I said, I haven't done this before. I've never changed colors. So what I'm going to do is I don't want to join them, okay? I don't want to join them because I don't know exactly, like if I join it up here, this first one might be long enough to still have a grey loop. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it off to the side. It can sit over here next to the grey tail, like so. I'll just leave them both there, like so. And I am just going to start knitting with the pink, like this. Okay, same as before, and that's just left there. I will do a knot in it later on and like stitch it in, but for now I'm just gonna keep going with the next color. Look at that. Look at me go. Look at me go. So getting enough slack out. You might find that different colors kind of feel a little bit different. But yeah, just like different batches. I've got one that's feels quite thin compared to like the other color. So here we go, just stitching another row in pink. I need to get off my box because I'm too high. Let me get off my box. Oh, I'm standing on it so I can see through the screen, but I really don't need to be seeing through the screen at the moment. Just pull that through. So what do you think so far? It's fun, that's for sure. It's a great way to spend a cold, rainy afternoon. Any afternoon, really. Any afternoon is a great reason to knit. Now, with the end there, I don't like to make it quite as big, otherwise it can be a little bit loose on the edge, so I try to make it just a little bit smaller on the end there.
Want a coffee?
Have a coffee, thank you. Hubby's back. Coffee time! Isn't he sweet? All right, here we go. He doesn't know I'm videoing, but anyway, doesn't matter. We're a family show. 'Tis what it is. I have husband, kids, dogs, birds. It's a busy household. It's a noisy household. Is what it is. No professional videographer by any means. All right, so here we go. Look at that. Make sure that I've pulled this out. You don't want to be having any tension on your wool, on your yarn. But yeah, this pink one does feel a little bit thinner than the grey one. Looks a bit kind of fluffier too. Just different batches, I guess. I guess in, you know, if you're wanting it to be more symmetrical and not have different wools at different thicknesses and things like that, you just pick 6 of the same wool. That way you know you're going to get them all the same size. So I'll just finish this row. And then I think it's time for a coffee. Definitely. Coffee and breakfast. Oh gosh, it's nearly lunchtime. I haven't had breakfast yet. I get so sidetracked with what I'm doing, my crafting. And then I look up and it's nearly lunchtime and I haven't had my breakfast yet. I have had my morning coffee, my early coffee. Sit with the dogs, I'll have my early coffee when I get up. After I've looked after all the dogs and the puppies and fed everybody and changed puppies' bedding and things like that. And it's time to come into the studio or craft room and get started. It's my hobby though, like, you know, it's my hobby. I enjoy it. Right, here we go. That's the end one there. Again, don't pull it up too high. And there we go. We've changed colours. We have changed colour. Oh, look at that. Got like a stripe in there. How cool's that? All right. Now we can fold this a little bit more like so. As you go, bring it a bit closer to you so you're not getting a sore back. But I would advise sitting at a table for sure, and just roll up your work as you go. All right, I will put you on a little bit of a time lapse now. I'll do a little bit more pink while my coffee's getting made, and then I'll finish it off and see you when it's time to change to cream. Righto, ready to join up our balls of wool again. So here's my next one. I'll do it again. Bring you in a little bit closer so that you can see. That's the old one. I've only got to there, haven't finished the row yet. So that's it there. That's the new one there. Tying that to that, tying that to that, okay? So basically just, I'm going to tie a knot in this one. So forget that's there, and we're just going to tie a knot in this one. I must say it took me quite a while to learn how to do this until I realised, okay, just pretend that's not there, we're just tying a knot. That's all we're doing, tying a knot in this one. Like that. Okay, and then we're pulling together, and that's it. And then again, make sure that you've pulled them nice and tight. Don't pull this one with that one. You've got to pull it with the correct one. You'll see, you'll feel it. If it's loose, you'll know that you've got the wrong one. Just pull everything, just pull everything. All right, there we go. That's done. And then we'll just trim that off as close to the knot as possible. Make sure you're cutting the right one, not the wrong one. There we go, look at that. And then if you've got any little fluffy bits that need trimming, you can do that. All right. These are left-handed scissors because my daughter Christy's left-handed, so when we knit together, she couldn't use my scissors, so I had to go and buy new scissors. So that's what those ones are. All right. We'll just finish off this row here, like so. Now, I will just do this one. Actually, there's a knot right there, so I'll have to make sure I don't put it on the end. I will just do this row just in normal time. I'm not a fast knitter by any means, but I'll just do it in normal time just so that you can see rather than it, being sped up. I'm still drinking my coffee. I have my coffee very hot because I know it's going to take me a long time to drink it, especially when I get sidetracked with knitting or resining or something. So I just have it nice and hot. Make sure that your loops aren't twisted. Away you go. So I'll finish this row, and then you don't need to see me doing any more of it on time lapse or anything. I will finish it. I'll have my coffee, I'll finish it, and then I'll come back to you when it's time to join colours again. I'm going to go cream. But like I said, this one, the pink does seem not quite as thick as the grey, so hopefully it won't sort of come in. I don't know. We'll be able to stretch it. It's pretty forgiving. It is pretty forgiving. All right, and then we just keep rolling. Look at that. Look at that so far. So cool, eh? So cool. Look at that. Looking good. Now, again, make sure you've got enough. You've got all your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You're a bit small. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. If you haven't, you're going to have to go and find out where the problem is. All right. I'll finish off this ball, and then I'll come back to you when it's time to change to the cream. And then we're nearly done. Right. I'm done with my pink. So there it is. There's my pink. Look at that. Looks gorgeous. I do feel that the pink was a little bit thinner though, so I kind of felt as if I had to knit it bigger. I don't know, maybe not. It just felt different. But anyway, it looks amazing. So rolling that up, and we're going to go to the cream. So here it is. This one again feels thick again. I don't think they look, I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's just like I said earlier, every batch, every colour, they seem to be a little bit different to each other. So if you want it all to be consistent, just go with one colour, or if you want like a mottled look, choose a ball of wool that has all the different colours in it, all right? Anyway, here we go. We are going to change to cream. I will zoom you in a little bit so that you can see again. There's not much left. Not much left over. That was all I had left over. So that was worked out really well. All right. So, oh, that's right. We're not tying it. Although I am going to just tie. I am going to tie it here, just with a little knot, about the same length of tail as what I've got there, right up next to this loop. I am just going to tie a little knot because I'm going to do it later anyway. So I thought I might as well just do it now and be done with it, like so. And then we've got the two little tails. Make that tail a little bit longer. Two little tails that we can then tuck in later on. So those little tails can just live down there for a minute. And we shall get going. Now, because I want a whole row of cream, we can't miss that one, okay? So we have to go into that one. So it's a little bit different when you're changing colours. Otherwise, you'll have, you won't have a cream in that one. You'll have a pink in that one, and we don't want that. So here we go again. Sounds like a song. Here we go again. Oh, I think it's Here We Come Again. No, I don't know. All right. Move down a bit. This one feels the same as the pink. So the pink and the cream to me feel the same, and then that grey one, the first one, feels a little bit thicker. Should make those a bit bigger. But Christy used, no, I can't remember if I told you already. Christy did this grey one. She used 8 balls for a friend. She was going to make it for a birthday present, so she only used 8. So there was 2 left. So I thought, oh gosh, what could I do with 2? Because I didn't want to order, another 8 so that I had 10 balls, because normally I do 10 balls for a blanket. So I thought, oh, maybe I could just do this, 2, 2, and 2. It's a good way to use up a couple of balls or a couple of skeins. Yeah, get them used up, hey. This stuff feels amazing. If you don't know what the chenille chunky wool feels like, it's similar to, when you go and you get your nice, thick, chunky gown, like to put over your PJs, over your jammies, and it's really soft and fluffy. That's kind of what this feels like, just to give you an idea of what the chenille yarn feels like. It is just incredible. Move that down a bit. Hopefully you can still see. Rolled up a bit. I'm loving the pink with the cream, you guys. Loving it. So, yeah, I'll do, finish this row off for you. Put you on a time lapse. I'll do a little bit more. If you don't want to watch the time lapse, feel free to just fast forward. I'm trying to show you as much as possible on how, to knit a blanket for those that have never done one before. Just so that you can see the whole process rather than just the beginning and the end. But come back at the end, because I will show you how to cast off. It's a little bit different to, casting off with knitting needles, but funnily enough, it's quite similar. So there we go. That last one again. And then, as we normally do, skip that one and move on to the next one. And off we go. All right, I'll put you on a time lapse. I'll do a little bit more. I won't do the whole skein. I'll just do a little bit more, and then I'll come back to you when it's time to join the 2 again. So you can see another magic knot. Right, there's another ball down. Lucky last. This is the last one. It's gone so fast. There we go. There's the end. It has gone so fast. Oh my gosh. I'm already thinking about my next one because I've just done this one in a few hours. All right. Now, same thing. Tie that to there. Tie that to there. All right. Doesn't really matter which piece you use, as long as you've tied it like so. All right, and again, I think one time I actually must have done it wrong and I pulled these and nothing happened. So yeah, just make sure that you're doing it the right way, and then I always, like I said, go and tighten them again. I think I must have pulled the wrong one there. That one. Okay, I do it 3 times just to make sure that it's nice and tight. Snip off our little tails. Make sure there's no extra bits of fluff there. Trim those as well. Like so. Give it a bit of a haircut. All right, see, there's not much wastage. Okay, here we go. On to the last one. Now, I'll put you back up to, where was I? Zoom back out. I only had 2 more stitches to do, but I didn't have enough, so we'll finish these 2. And then we can turn around and come back again. All right. I'll just do one more little row for you. And then I'll finish it on my own. So that's the knot in there with that one. And again, I'll just hide it in the back or on the side. You won't see it. And I mean, if you do see it, then, well, so be it. It's a join. It just happens. Making sure that I'm still doing them big enough. Sometimes I'll lapse back into my smaller ones that I've been doing with my other wool. I have to keep reminding myself, bigger loops, bigger loops. Because the other ones, when I'm doing my other ones, my other blankets, I do my loops just like that. I just pull through once, so it's a lot bigger. This one I kind of pull through twice. Although I don't always show you. I'll kind of do 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure that I'm making them big enough. And that's pretty much it. We'll keep going with this one. You don't need to see any more, do you? I think you've probably seen enough. They're probably, oh my gosh, Julie, just hurry up and get it done, woman. All right. So, yeah, I will do the rest of it. And then I'll come back and show you how to finish it off. Because that, now again, there's a few different ways to do that. But I'm going to show you my way, my favorite way. I think it's pretty easy, but you do need to have like 3 lengths, 1, 2, 3 lengths of your yarn left to do your final row. So make sure that you don't use it all. Make sure that you've saved at least 3 lengths to do your casting off, but I'll come back and show that to you. I'll just finish all of this. Won't take me long at all. And yeah, I'll show you what to do. There's that knot, so it's gone. It's just between those 2 there. It's in there. You can hardly see it. Hardly see it. All right, that's me done for now. I'll be back shortly. So I've unravelled all my yarn there. I haven't got a lot left. I think I'm going to get 1 more row in. Let's hope so. That one's twisted. A little bit easier for the bigger loops to twist, I found, than the smaller loops, because they've been twisted onto the roll as well. So sometimes the yarn's a little bit twisted, but just make sure that your loops are nice and straight, not twisted. See how many more rows I can get. Maybe just this one, I'm not sure, we'll see. It's really surprising how fast it goes, like how much you use. It's been a lot of fun. And I'm so glad that you guys are here with me. I've been wanting to show you for months. And now I finally get to, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. And hopefully you'll try one. You definitely have to show me what you've done. If you do one, definitely have to show me. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think I can do one more. I can do one more row. I think this will be the last one. We probably can't really talk about them on my Facebook group because it's a pouring page, but you could definitely tag me on Insta. Definitely. I'd love to see them. Your blankets. And like I said, I'll link the 2 places where I got my yarn from. If you're in Australia and you just want to buy from Australia, you can go to Craft Online. They're in Queensland and they ship Australia wide. I found that they were a bit limited in the colours. Like when I went in, because they're only about 10 minutes from where I live, when I went in there and I said, I want 10 of these, and they came out and they go, oh, there's only 4. Okay, so then I had to choose a different colour. 10 of these. No, we've only got 6 of those. Okay. All right, let's see how many we've got. How many? 1, 2, 3. All right. That hopefully will be enough. If it's not, I'll have to come back and undo a line. So what you need to do is we do the same thing again. I'm just going to make this end one a little bit bigger. So what we're doing now is we're going to go through and do one more row. All right, let's do this. Someone was coming down the driveway. I could see them, so I had to stop. Now, when you're doing your last row, you can't cast off with these. They're too small. So what we need to do is we need to make bigger loops and then use those big loops to cast off. So like I said, your loops have to be about twice the size. That one we'll leave as it is. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully those will be big enough. If these loops aren't big enough, you'll find that your blanket will go like this and then it'll get pulled in really tight across the top if these loops are too tight. So yeah, make them nice and big. Double the size of what these are. So we'll pull that up like that. And this is why you need lots of yarn, because you can see the difference there. Hopefully you can see the difference there in the sizes. They need to be a lot bigger. If you haven't left yourself enough, and I'm giving you a hint here because I'm saying you need like at least 3 lengths. If you haven't left yourself enough, you'll have to actually unpick what you've done, unpick the next row so that you've then got enough to go back and do big loops with. If that makes sense. I'm just making sure that I'm making them all big enough. Like so. You can see the difference in size there. So kind of pulling 1, 2, 3, like so. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Make sure they're all the right size before you go too far. If you need to borrow a little bit from the neighbour, do that. Keep going. You can see there's only a little bit left now, but hopefully I've left myself enough. So that's all I've got left now after those three lengths that I had. And the last one, like so. Okay, so there we go. That's all we've got left. Tiny little bit. So tie a little knot in the end of that one. Oops. Tied it a bit close to the end. Tie a knot. Make it nice and tight. Trim off the excess. And then that'll be the end of that one. Always try and have a knot at the end, just so that you're not having anything fray. All right, so that's that done. Now I'm going to bring you down a little bit. Oops, no, we're going to zoom you in. I can't see because the light's shining on. There we go. We'll roll that up. Move the scissors. Now I want to show you what to do here. So basically what you're doing is you're going to take two loops. You're going to put one through there like that, and then pull that one over like that. And then that one goes through there, and then it gets pulled over. That one through there, pull it over. See how we're making that chain? Corner ones always go a little bit bigger, but that's okay. So you do need to have them quite big, otherwise your chain's going to be too tight. So through there, pull over, through, pull over. So you're pulling the way that you're going there. So they're through there, pull over. That makes sense? So this one through there, grab it, pull it over. And the next one through there, grab it, pull it over. And that's basically all we're doing, like so. So as you can see, we're getting that gorgeous chain or braid happening on the top, which is the same as the braid or chain that runs along the bottom. I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so here we go, keep going like so. I could have even made these loops a tiny bit bigger, but I didn't have any wool left. All I've got is that tiny little tail at the end, so unless I was going to pick out a whole row, it wasn't going to happen. But look, I made them quite big. Do you want to see? Let's see. This is how big they are. About 3 inches. About 8 centimeters, 3 inches for those loops. So yeah, quite big. And you can understand why and how you need them, because you need to be able to pull it right over like that. And if they're small, then when you pull these, they're going to pull in. It's going to be like too tight. You'll be pulling them way too tight. And then your blanket's going to get pulled in on the top. And you don't want that. You just want it to be a nice square shape. Nearly there, nearly there. So this is the last one. Oops, wrong way. That way. And then that one goes over. So I will make that one a little bit smaller. So now that's your last one that you've just done. And you're going to use this little tail there just to kind of tie a knot. Tie a little knot there. Like that, just to hold it, to finish it off, like so. Okay, that's it. Look at that. Look at that. Just like I bought one. Now, I will show you, while I've got you zoomed in here, I'll show you what to do with these little tails. Now, this is going to be the front of mine. So I'm going to use, if you have a look at, see the chain along the side there? A bit difficult to see in cream, but the chain is there. So this is the front here. I'm going to use these back ones, and all I do is I'm just going to thread this through along the back like that. And that's it. See, it's gone. I've just used that outer edge there. So that's it. All right. Now I'm going to give this a little bit of a pull, just to give it a bit of a stretch, like so. Just a bit of a stretch, because everything else has been stretched. So a bit of a stretch. All right. Now I'm not going to be able to show you the whole thing at once, I don't think. Oh, there's my little tail. Get back in there, little tail. All right. Are we ready? Here we go. So there's the top. Can we see it all? Can we see it all? Hope so. All right, now I'm just going to bring that up. So there's the pink. And there's the grey, like so. Hopefully you can see it all. I will go and put it on my couch in my lounge with the other blankets shortly, so that you can see it totally finished. But we need to take care of a couple more little things. Oops, no, I'll leave you out there. All right, so we have got on the side here, we've got these two where the colours have joined. So what I'll do again is tie a knot just in the bottom of that little pink one there. Trim that off. And then the grey one, cut a little bit longer because I need to make a knot in that one as well. So these were where I changed colour. So again, make your little knot at the end, just so that it's not going to fray or unravel at any stage. Trim it off. So there's those two little tails. Now, again, you can just weave that in. So with this pink one, you can either just weave it through there, or you can go up the side. The sides, I might go up the side. It's not much there, really. There's not much there to use at all. Actually, which way did I go? I might go this way. Nope. Anyway, maybe not. This is what I was saying to you. Try and get those edge ones, the side ones, to be a little bit smaller, just so that you don't have big loops. I'd be able to tighten that. But anyway, you can just basically thread it like this into the back there, and there it is. So you can't even see it. And then the same with this grey one. You could just weave that through here, through there, and just poke it in there, and that's done. Otherwise you can weave it down the outer edge as well. So that's those ones done. There you go. And then the only other one we need to do is this one where we started, where we had that little tail at the beginning. So all we need to do with this one, again, there's the chain on the side. I like that as the front, so I'm going to use these back loops of the chain, and I'll just grab my little tail and I'll just weave it through there like so. Tuck that away. So there we go, that one's done as well. All right, let's pick up this gorgeous blanket. Oh, it feels so gorgeous, it's so soft. Let's go and put it in the other room and have a look at it on the couch. Okay, it's the next day, and I've got some light in the room, so we'll walk over and have a look at the new blanket. Look at it. It's so pretty. Turned out really nice. Really happy with it. I don't know if you can tell, it's a little bit more sort of open weaved. I don't know if you can tell. A little bit more sort of open weaved than this one. but not too much. I was trying to make my stitches a bit bigger, but might not have happened. But yeah, it's a really nice size. Actually, you can feel, when you're feeling it, you can feel that it's much more lightweight, kind of a bit softer, just because, you know, I did make those loops bigger. So there you go. Really happy with it. There's the back. So yeah, you can have either side. If you want either, you could use either side. There's the back of it there. So yeah, really happy with it. So I'll wrap that up, pop it under the tree with the other presents for my mother for Christmas. Hope she'll like it. It's just a nice size to pop over her legs and when she's sitting there on the couch. All right, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed my video. Oh look, I'm so sorry that it's a long one, but you know, when something takes a few hours to do, and I didn't want to leave any steps out, so yeah, I do apologize for the length of it, but anyway, up to you. You can fast forward. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you want to see any more of these chunky knit blankets. I have got lots more wool, and I'll be doing them. I just don't know if you want to watch me do them. All right. Okay. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Bye for now.